Our next live English mindfulness session will be on February 5th with Nico. We haven't seen Nico in a few months, so looking forward to seeing him soon. PD Health at Home is presented by the Light of Day Foundation, whose generosity has made this programming possible. Thank you, Light of Day Foundation. Our next Wellness Wednesday will be on February 7th, where we'll dive into a basic overview of Parkinson's. Again, I'm going to underline, highlight, and asterisk the word basic overview of Parkinson's disease. So we'll learn what Parkinson's is, what causes it, common symptoms, treatments, and strategies for managing symptoms. You can find out more and register for our PD Health at Home programs at parkinson.org/pdhealth. All right, my friends, how are we? How are we? So often this is a question that we answer passing by. I made someone who became a profound friend to me, walked up to her and I said, "Hi, I'm Crista, how are you?" And she goes, "Oh, how am I? My heart is full. My mind is distracted and my body is content." So that blew me out of the water. All I wanted was a fine, a good, I'm okay. And she made a question so intrinsically valuable to me. So how are you today? How are you today? And the next time somebody asks you that question, maybe you can dive a little bit deeper. So today's session was titled Coming to Our Senses. The book, Coming to Our Senses, from best-selling author Jon Kabat-Zinn, reiterates and expands upon the themes of his earlier publications that Buddhist-based meditation and mindfulness techniques can relieve stress and stimulate healing. By mindfulness, Kabat-Zinn means our capacity for awareness and self-knowing. It's the practice of paying closer attention not only to the world around us, but the workings of our own minds and bodies. Jon Kabat-Zinn is a molecular biologist and professor at the University of Massachusetts Medical School. He has spent most of his career exploring the mind-body frontier through his stress reduction clinics and Center for Mindfulness. Kabat-Zinn focuses on how we can train ourselves to become more aware of our sensory experiences. And he emphasizes the inner relationship between how we sense our internal emotions and how we experience the external world. He sees mindfulness as a way of understanding ourselves better so that we may also better understand those different from us. Mindfulness can be a means to transforming the world from the inside out. A quote from Jon Kabat-Zinn: "With our cell phones and wireless devices, we are now able to be so connected that we can be in touch with anyone and everyone at any time, do business anywhere. But have you noticed that in the process, we run the risk of never being in touch with ourselves? In the overall seduction, we can easily forget that our primary connection to life is through our own internal landscape. The experiencing of our own body and all of our senses, including the mind, which allow us to touch and be touched by the world and to act appropriately in response to it. And for that, we need moments that are not filled with anything, in which we do not jump in one more phone call or send one more email or plan one more event or add to our to-do list, even if we can. Moments of reflection, of mulling, of thinking things over, of thoughtfulness, of integration. This weekend, I was blessed to receive the arrival of my family in town. Being the planner I am and wanting to make our time together as intentional as it could, I made an itinerary. In the quote that I just read from Jon Kabat-Zinn, he stresses the importance of time for doing nothing. In the itinerary I made, I called this transition time. And I literally built a schedule and wrote in transition time. We went for brunch, had a walk downtown, went for a wander in the woods, and returned home for transition time before dinner and music. There was nothing built into that time, just a block of time to do nothing. Often I saw my sisters on their phones or mom making a phone call. I'm checking my emails. And that's when I decided to flex this muscle of being present and choosing to not be pulled into the distractions, but gifting myself a few moments to sit and breathe, reflect, and integrate. Jon Kabat-Zinn says there is no purpose to mindfulness other than to be awake to what is already so. Meditation is about keeping things simple. Do you see? Do you hear? How much time do you offer this sense before your mind chimes in? For example, do you hear? How much time did you offer the sense before your mind chimed in and said, oh, she just rang a bell? Fleeting, right? Can you witness a sense before the mind makes something more out of it? Through mindfulness, we can deepen our capacity to be present, to expand our field of focus. So today's meditation is borrowed and inspired by Patria King. She's the CEO of the Quest for Life Foundation. You can follow her meditations on the app Insight Timer. We're going to go on a journey through the senses, embodying the very nature of what it means to be present. So for those of you who are familiar with this practice, take the seat, sit down in a way that feels good and comfortable and supportive to you. Lying down, walking, trying to eliminate as many distractions as you can, turning the TV off. Taking a swallow, clearing your throat. Now become aware of this moment. Close your eyes if that feels comfortable, or often just bring this sort of soft gaze to the eyes, the eyelids. And we'll simply start to connect with the senses of your body. Be aware of your posture, the shape and weight of your body. Notice whatever it is that's supporting your body. Perhaps the floor beneath your feet, or the chair supporting your seat. Feel the air against your exposed skin. Feel the touch of your clothing against your skin. Notice its texture. Notice the temperature that your clothing helps create. Warmth. Be aware of the way your clothing moves against your skin. Observing any areas of tightness or tension in your body. without needing to change anything. Just a simple noticing of any itchy, restless, or tense areas of your body. Notice the space between your feet and the floor. As you breathe, feel this soft touch or movement of air against your cheeks, your hands or legs. Notice any aroma in the air, any perfume or smell. Feel the sensations in your nostrils as the air passes in and out of your body. Now bring your attention to your mouth. Notice any taste in your mouth. Perhaps there's a combination of flavors or no flavor. Be aware of how taste and smell work together to identify the flavors in your mouth. Notice all the sensations in your mouth. Moistness, dryness, warmth. Your tongue, your teeth, the inside of your cheeks. Lick your lips. Feel yourself swallow. And now bring your awareness to the area in which your eyes reside. Notice all the little muscles around your eyes, aware of how they feel. Acknowledging the gift of sight, of vision. With your eyes softly closed or wide open, notice your soft gaze. What's in your surroundings, or perhaps what you see behind the closed curtains of your eyelids. Not focusing on anything in particular and observing textures, colors, the playfulness of light and dark, the gift of sight, the gift of vision, eyes open or eyes closed. Now focus on your hearing. What sounds are surrounding you? From close by and far away. Not resisting, not judging, not even labeling the sounds. Simply letting the sounds be present in your field of focus. Listen. Try not to respond. Listen until you hear the sound of the stars shining and moving above you into vast stillness in which all sound dissolves. And now you're breathing. Simply noticing the waves of the inward and outward breath flowing in, flowing out. Trusting that with each exhale, the breath returns. Aware of these sensations in your nostrils with each inhale and each exhale. Feel the temperature of the air as you breathe it in. And notice the difference in the temperature as you breathe out. The air is warmed by your body. An invitation to let your belly be big here. Feel the rising and falling of your belly with each inhale, expanding, and each exhale, contracting. Breathe. Aware of the movement of your rib cage as you breathe. As you breathe in, notice the pause at the fullness of your inhale before it becomes an exhale. As you breathe out, notice the pause as your lungs empty before you receive your next inhale. Focus your attention on the pausing of the breath. Breathing in, pause. Breathing out, pause. And hold this awareness of sight, smell, taste, touch, and listening. The sense of being present to this moment, in this place, at this time. Jon Kabat-Zinn says, all we know is now, and that is spectacularly sufficient. Let your next inhale be full and deep down into the belly. And open the mouth and sigh it out. And start opening eyes, welcoming sight back into our field of awareness. Seeing some eyeballs. As many of you know, I am a fan of poetry, and one of my most beloved poets has a poem called For the Senses. And so I feel called to share this one from John O'Donohue. For the Senses. May the touch of your skin register the beauty of the otherness that surrounds you. May your listening be attuned to the deeper silence where sound is honed to bring distance home. May the fragrance of a breathing meadow refresh your heart and remind you you are a child of the earth. And when you partake of food and drink, may your taste quicken to the gift and sweetness that flows from the earth. May your inner eyes see through the surfaces and glean the real presence of everything that meets you. May your soul beautify the desire of your eyes, that you might glimpse the infinity that hides in the simple sights that seem worn to your usual eyes. Thank you all for coming to your senses today. And I hope that you'll continue this journey of mindfulness, either with us here in community or in solitude. We just have a minute left if anyone has any questions or suggestions. Otherwise, feel free to fly. Wonderful. I will see you all again soon. Until then, may you be well, may you be wild, and may you be present.